Hello pals, I'm recently back from a trip to Edinburgh, which is quite unusual for me because I don't normally get away, but get away I did. I did some book shopping. I actually read very little of that book, sorry. And we potted around Edinburgh for a few days, and honestly, it was just so nice. We got in when it was dark and food was first priority, and this place had vegan fish. Amazing. Afterwards, we just had a little potter around. Edinburgh is so beautiful in the dark. Toppings wound up being the first of only 3 bookshops we actually ended up visiting, and to be honest with you, I think it spoiled us. It was probably my favourite of the lot. The upstairs is absolutely huge, but still manages to maintain a sense of coziness and warmth, and it's just honestly such a stunning shop. We actually wound up at this food court about 3 times, I think, on our trip. It was just such a handy, laid back, lovely setup, and the food was amazing. Thumbs up to Edinburgh for plant-based options. Alright pals, so I am in Edinburgh and I already filmed a speaking clip this morning and somehow managed to delete it, so here goes nothing once again. We're here about 24 hours now and we've been out and about around the city today. So when we got here yesterday afternoon, lads, it gets dark so early in Edinburgh. It's lovely. It was like 4:30 and it was dark, but we didn't see a whole lot because obviously it was dark. We had a lovely little potter around yesterday and oh my god, we went to this pub and they do like fully vegan fish and chips, and if there's something myself and Sean have been talking about for so long, it's like the batter on fish that you get in a chipper, how we both like really miss that. It was so nice. It was called The Happy Fish and I'll tell you, I was very happy after it, if not very, very full. But today we did go to a couple of bookshops. We went for a potter around the city. We met Paddington. I'm gonna pop in the photo here because he's adorable. I did some damage. I bought some books, which I haven't really been doing this year at all. I'm just going to show you really quickly because you're probably wondering, what's that stack beside you there, girl? I got finally my hands on White Nights by Dostoevsky. I have never read it. I have read Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky, probably when I was in my late teens, I would say. And I hear that something very devastating goes on in here. There are 2 Russian stories of solitude, unrequited love and depravity from beyond the grave. Looking forward to reading this. I bought it here because it was £3 and at home all our books are converted from the British price and then they're rounded up generally, so we pay more for books in Ireland, which is pure shite. So I just said, here, I'll get it when it's only £3 here. And then, hilariously, I came all the way to Edinburgh to buy a book by an Irish author that is from my home county, who I only saw in conversation in person last week. Lads, I bought Brooklyn, and the reason I bought it is firstly because I wanted it, but secondly, I have never read it. Funnily enough, I know it's Toppings' like probably most popular novel, especially because it's got the Saoirse Ronan film going on and everything, but I've never read it, and it is signed by the author, and I didn't get him to sign my book last week, so I said screw it, I'm buying Brooklyn in Edinburgh. And this is a book that's set in the 1950s in Ireland, and we follow a girl as she, what does she do? Yeah, so she sorry, I had to have a little read there. So she emigrates to New York, where she meets somebody, and then she comes home, and there's a whole thing where she has to kind of make a choice between her two lives, essentially. And I've seen the film, it was a very long time ago, but I can't really remember it, and I really look forward to reading this because I really like Toby's brand of writing. And then next up, because I'm in Scotland and I want to read more sci-fi, Ian M. Banks, I'm going to give the culture novels a bit of a go. And I know nothing about them, but I've heard they're very, very good. And why not start yet another series, pals, right? But I've heard it's such an incredible series. I'm not even going to read the back because I don't want to know what it's about. I just think I want to go into this one blind. I know there's people on a spaceship, and that's about all I can tell you about that. And then lastly but not leastly, Sean actually bought me a book. I was kind of half toying with buying it. It is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood, and it's signed in a lovely gold pen. And the reason I didn't actually buy it was because I got an e-arc for it and I read it, and then I feel like sometimes I want to buy books but it feels wasteful to buy them when I've already read them. But then she announced that there's another book coming next September set in the same world, and I was like, oh well, if I don't buy this one then I can't buy the matching one next September. So here we are, I am in the proud possession of Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. It's a really cozy fantasy where we follow a girl. She's a witch, but she doesn't really use her powers. She's kind of removed from the whole witchy scene. Come her 30th birthday, she needs to make a decision about whether or not she kind of wants to pursue her magic or not, and she needs to complete some trials, and it's really cozy. There's some lovely little sidekicks along the way, and it's just right for this time of year. So I'd imagine this is one I'll probably reread sometime, maybe before the next one is published next September. So that's that. We've been out and about like for so much of the day. I'm a bit tired. Small things like these, the film is out in cinemas now. I still haven't seen it. The book is set in my hometown, and much of the film was filmed in my hometown, and I really want to see it. And so tonight we're going to go to the cinema and we're going to go see it, so I'm really excited for that. I also went into Bird and Blend and did some damage. So it is a tea shop, and I bought some tea bags, and the one I'm drinking at the moment is Dozy Girl. It's got chamomile, it's got lavender, and it's got rose, and it's got no caffeine, most importantly, because I have a very anxious disposition and I find it difficult to sleep, and apparently this is great for that. So why not drink it before I go to the cinema, hey? We visited Mary King's Close on this morning as well, but I wasn't allowed to shoot any footage, but I definitely recommend it. We hadn't actually planned on going to the National Museum, but Sean got talking to a lovely man named Colin who worked in the Tronkirk Market, and he suggested that we go up to the rooftop of the National Museum for the views. Well called, Colin. Also then we had a bit of a wander around the museum, and generally it's not my thing, but this one was huge, and if I had more energy, I think I actually would have really enjoyed it. I do tend to really enjoy visiting cities, but I also find them incredibly overwhelming. So top tip, if you are in a city and you want a bit of space for yourself, pop into one of the free museums. You usually find a quiet corner to regroup and get yourself back together. On our last evening, we walked up Calton Hill. Bit of a push, but it was lovely once we got there. We got there just before the sun set. Unfortunately, it was quite cloudy, so we didn't get an epic sunset, but it was really lovely all the same. It was really busy, but we just sat around and just watched the views for a while before heading back down, getting some food, getting ourselves ready to get home. So we flew home the following day. Didn't do a whole lot on that Friday morning, and now it's back to real life. When we came home, pretty much straight away, I ended up having to put my 18-year-old cat to sleep. So, back with a bang. But aside from that, the week in Edinburgh was just what we needed, I think. And I would definitely recommend visiting with your favourite person. It's a really lovely city, and I imagine I will definitely be back. Thanks for watching, pals. I'll see you next week in another video. I hope you're taking care. Bye bye.